MLS season is here, and there's a lot of buzz around the league, and specifically the biggest name in the league. Joining us here on the show to discuss it all, he is a legend in MLS, 19 years in the league, 14 caps for the U.S. men's national team, third most games played ever in MLS history, and now a main part of the Apple TV MLS season pass package. Joining us to preview the season is Dax McCarty. Dax, how you doing?
Doing great, Damon. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm flattered.
You got it, man. Thanks so much for joining us. And let's start with the biggest name, and that's Lionel Messi. What do you think? Is this fans' final chance, a final ride to see Leo this season?
That's a tough question, Damon, because it's hard to know what's in Lionel Messi's mind and in his heart. I think personally that he will want to play another season into 2026, leading into the World Cup that's coming to the United States, Mexico, and Canada. But listen, as with all great athletes, father time is undefeated, and Lionel Messi is getting older. So I certainly, while I can't tell you if this is his last year, I know for a fact that it will come to an end relatively soon, as it does with all athletes. And so if fans want to see the greatest player that's ever lived, they should absolutely try to tune in to every game he's a part of.
You know what Beckham's arrival in MLS did. It really shuffled the league into a different stratosphere of notoriety, attendance, etc. Feels like Leo was 2.0 for Beckham, but really to a next level. So since you were part of MLS when Beckham was there, and then you're watching this as an analyst, what do you see as comparisons, and what do you see as what Messi did even bigger, or the league did bigger this time around?
Yeah, there's absolutely a comparison to be had there, Damon. Obviously, when David Beckham arrived in 2007, I think it was almost an oh crap moment. Like, no one expected MLS to be able to recruit and sign a player of such high stature as they did with David Beckham. And it launched the league into a different stratosphere with the introduction of designated players. You had any team in the league able to go sign these global superstars and really increase the visibility and the quality of the league. Now, when David Beckham came over to MLS in 2007, the league was still relatively young. I think there were still question marks about the future of the league. Lionel Messi, and when he came over to MLS, there's no questions about the health of the league. But you're right. It just kind of poured rocket fuel on where the league was already headed. The differences between Beckham and Messi, Beckham as a commercial aspect and property was probably a bigger draw, but Lionel Messi is the greatest soccer player that's ever lived. And so you just have an appetite, I think, from a more global audience that wants to follow him and watch him play. And so for me, the partnership between MLS and Apple, it gives fans from all over the world an opportunity to see this guy play in what could be his last couple of seasons. And so Lionel Messi has been brilliant for the league. Every time he is on the field, it's must-watch box office stuff. And by the way, he continues to play at such a high level, not only being the best player in MLS, but also still leading the Argentine national team into a very important year for them going into the 2026 World Cup.
I was part of the New England Revolution's telecasts in 10, 11, and 12. I was the sideline reporter there. And so I saw what the Beckham effect was in New England and also the rest of the league. What I think is so interesting today in 2025 is now we got a new team in San Diego, and this new crop of expansion teams over the last, let's say, 5 or 6 years, maybe even 8 to 9 years, where the moment they hit the ground, it was like established craziness and indebted fans, entrenched fans. It didn't take long to build up this kind of incredible atmosphere. So if you watch any of these games on Apple TV, you'll see sights that we didn't see when you were playing. We didn't see when I was covering the game in many places outside of a handful. How unique is it that we have this crop of, let's say, 6 new franchises, and every single one of them has kind of topped atmosphere than the previous ones?
Yeah, it's been incredibly impressive to see. I feel extremely lucky that I've been able to be a part of MLS expansion pretty much from the get-go. I've seen it in so many different markets. Like you said, it just seems like each one of them keeps topping each other and one-upping each other. And it starts with infrastructure, Damon. The infrastructure of the league is an absolute catalyst for, I think, the growth of these fan bases. You almost had this sleeping giant of soccer fans, scattered throughout the country that were just waiting for their city or their market to get an MLS team. And the support has not disappointed. You see sold out stadiums. You see amazing tifos before games. You see fans consume the game at a level that we have never seen before. And Apple TV is helping drive that growth. You have more coverage than you've ever had in the history of Major League Soccer. You get behind the scenes features, you get player profiles, you have a whip around show that I'm lucky enough to be part of called MLS 360, where if your team isn't playing at a particular time or on a particular day, you can consume and watch any other team in the league that you want, and we'll have that for you. So Major League Soccer has never been in a better place. We're in the third year of the deal with Apple, and everything just continues to get better and better in terms of the quality of the coverage and the viewership.
U.S. men's national team's been in the news. A kind of disappointing, frustrating couple of efforts and results, and you've been part of the U.S. men's national team. There's a lot of pressure on getting this thing right for 2026 when the World Cup is on home soil. What do you circle as what they need to work on? What do you circle as something that they've really got to step up and fix?
Yeah, you're right. It is an extremely important time for the U.S. men's national team leading into a World Cup that we will be hosting in 2026. You have a new coach in Mauricio Pochettino, who has a resume that any national team would be proud to hire, but he's got a lot of work to do. And this most recent, let's call it what it is, failure at the Nations League, where the U.S. finished fourth out of 4 teams, it's unacceptable. And so I do believe that the U.S. men's national team has very good players. I do believe that they have players who want to make it right and who want to have a successful 2026 World Cup. But I believe that there has been a little bit of complacency that has settled into this team. And I would like to see Mauricio Pochettino light a fire under some of these guys, for lack of a better term, because you have players in their prime playing at a high level in Europe who, for some reason, when they come over and they play for the U.S. men's national team, it doesn't look like they have the same level of motivation that they had 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago when we had a good run in the 2022 World Cup. The team has stagnated a little bit. And so we have about 14 to 15 months to get it right. I think Mauricio Pochettino is the right manager to get it done. But I would like to see him introduce some new players into the player pool and give players, younger players, a chance to really prove themselves so that you don't have complacency setting into the team. And I think if he does that, I think you want to be peaking at the right time, and you have 14, 15 months to get it right.
Before I let you go, USL is doing promotion relegation. This is a kind of seismic thing here in the States. We see this all across the world, but not here in the States. MLS obviously not part of that, but from your vantage point where you sit, how do you think that this may change soccer interest or soccer structure here in the U.S.?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how successful that is going to be. I know this is a very hot button topic for people to talk about in terms of American soccer. And to be completely honest, I don't think there's one right or wrong way to go about it. Major League Soccer has been extremely successful. It's been an extremely engaging and interesting league to follow, especially me being a part of it for 19 years. I know how much pressure I felt to be successful every single day. You have jobs on the line. The pressure has been raised every single year with Major League Soccer. And with parity, any team can beat any team on any given day. Now, promotion relegation, again, tons of excitement surrounding it. For me, there is no better version one way or another. I just want soccer in this country to continue to thrive and succeed. It doesn't matter if it's at the grassroots level. It doesn't matter if it's at MLS Next Pro level, which is the feeder system that helps develop all kinds of great young players into MLS teams, or if it's at the USL level. who's going to try something different. I think that there's a marketplace for any and all formats for how soccer is played in this country. Let's hope that everyone is successful and can taste the success that comes with interesting and compelling leagues.
I'll tell you, on my Sirius XM channel, Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, we had Rob Manfred, Commissioner of Baseball, on with Mad Dog Christopher Russo the other day, and Dog brought up that there's like 7 different platforms baseball fans have to subscribe to get a game. He specifically brought up the Yankee game. And I thought about you guys, and I was happy that we're going to have you on, because as you're talking about MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, it's one platform, one subscription. Now you've got the app as well that's debuting this year. And Manfred admitted we're on too many platforms. Next contract negotiation, we gotta whittle that down for the fans. I gotta feel like you and your team at Apple TV and MLS feel really good about the fact that, as you said, no blackouts. You don't have to worry about multiple platforms and sign-ins. Anywhere you are across the globe, you can watch your team, and it makes it really simple in a day and age of trying to figure out all these different subscriptions that you need.
Yeah, well, you said it. MLS and Apple are innovators. And that's the thing that I'm really proud of, is that I'm a part of coverage that are doing things and at the forefront of where we think broadcasting is headed in this country. You still get partnerships with linear television and people that maybe don't have an Apple TV Plus subscription with DirecTV, Comcast. I mean, even Android users are able to access games now with the Apple TV app. And I think that's the great thing about this partnership between MLS and Apple, is that they want to be innovators. They want to be at the forefront of what the future of sports broadcasting looks like. And I can tell you that, the feedback from fans has been excellent. Like you said, the production quality is better than it's ever been. And you can watch any game you want from anywhere in the world in 100 different countries in English or Spanish, with studio coverage, player profiles, behind the scenes looks at the different markets and cities that MLS teams are in. When I was a player, whenever I finished my game in Atlanta, I would pull up my phone immediately and put on MLS 360, which is the whip around show coverage that I am now a part of. It's truly a special time to be involved in soccer in this country, and MLS and Apple are at the forefront of that.
So check it out. MLS Season Pass is available, and Sunday Night Soccer is going to be cool. I like a standalone game. I like full coverage devoted just to that game. I think that's an awesome idea. Again, the app is debuted as well this year for Apple TV to watch MLS all season long. All of your teams, no blackouts. That's in a day and age where the NBA is worried about regionals, and the NHL and Major League Baseball regionals are dying all over the place. It's a one-stop shop for soccer fans, which is very cool. Dax, thanks so much for the time today. We appreciate it very much. Enjoy the season. We'll catch up again.
Damon, thanks for having me.